listen to a little shine backs and movie talk. Yeah, we just want to jump right into it. You guys probably Duran Duran fans from back in the day?
Yeah, good old Duran Duran.
And here's a surprise. No, that is not the theme song from Tea with the Dames.
I was going to be surprised. You know, when you think Maggie Smith, you don't really go, oh, you know, Duran Duran.
You just think great acting,
Yeah.
real acting. Tea with the Dames. You guys excited about it? I'll go into it in just a moment. What do y'all think? I'm sure you've seen that trailer.
Yeah.
Well, you saw that, right?
Yeah, but Tea with the Dames. It is literally just an afternoon chat with Eileen Atkins, Judi Dench, Joan Plowright, and Maggie Smith. 4 careers that started out in the wings of English theater. This is a critic-proof. It's critic-proof fun. You know what you're going in to see. Must-see for all actors and lovers of great theater. Yeah, it's actors of high caliber, by the way.
Yeah, these are just amazing women. These are movers and shakers in their time and today. You know, it's still their time because they say it is. So.
Well, you know, it's
Go
funny.
girls.
I wasn't even going to see it until you told me, because all I thought it was 4 people, you know, like.
Oh, you didn't realize
talking.
who they were?
No, I realized who they were, but I didn't think it sounded like an interesting film. You know, just having these 4 women talk.
Okay.
But
Well, it's a niche audience. I mean, you know, Joe Schmo who's in the football is not going to go, yeah, let's go see that Tea with the Dames, yeah.
Well, but are they talking about their careers and just
careers and gossip, and a lot about Joan Plowright's husband, who was Laurence Olivier.
I
They
did
both
not know that.
diss on him and talk about him. It's so much fun. I mean, he was
I
incredible.
Hear Joan Plowright talk
Oh,
smack
then
about
go see
Laurence
it.
Olivier. Who doesn't want to hear that?
Exactly. He was one of the highlights, actually low lights of this part, I must say, of the film. I mean, it was pretty cool. They showed it. Like I said, it's a must-see. But you know, it's a niche audience. Yeah, some of those highlights are just watching the 4 of them fight over who was the best Cleopatra in the different versions of Antony and Cleopatra, one of the lesser-known Shakespeare shows. And of course, yeah, the low light was the seeing Laurence Olivier in total blackface, head to toe, for his production movie of Othello.
Right.
That was bad.
Did you not know that happened?
Oh, I did. I've
yeah.
never seen it. I was like, ooh, there's no defending this. Doesn't matter what time it is. It's like, oh, Larry, what are you doing, Larry? Come on, Larry. No. What else we got here? Yeah, it's. I also wanted more Bond talk from Judi Dench. She talked about it a little bit, like being cast in GoldenEye. Her husband, another actor, was like, look, honey, you got to do GoldenEye. I would love to be married to a Bond girl. So you got to do it.
That's cute. Aww.
She was awesome, and it was so cool. Just cool, sweet, classy ladies. And Joan Plowright is blind, and you see the others helping her. It's a great time, and also Maggie Smith talking about the reaction shots in Harry Potter. She said on the first day of filming she was hanging out with the great Alan Rickman, rest in peace, and she was like, "What do we do? How do we do this? How do we get a character?" And he was Alan Rickman was laughing during filming. He was like, "Look, darling, we are just reacting to these kids. This is their ride. We're just going to do a lot of did you do that? So that was funny. They're talking about all those blockbusters. Yeah, check it out. Tea with the Dames. What's not to like, right? Right, Blaine?
Well, it's also, I was impressed, it's running for a second week at the Grail, I think.
That's right. They'll keep it for another week. And how about that? Well,
speaks well of our community.
I mean, it's one of those, like I said, it's critic-proof. You go in liking what you like. It's kind of like, that's most documentaries, you know. Like there's one about that orange idiot, the Michael Moore movie. I thought about going to see it, but I'm like, why would I go see this thing?
11.9?
Actually, I've seen all the stuff, and this one I didn't like.
Really?
Oh, really?
Ooh, I want to know
we
why.
talk about that, yeah.
I wanna talk about that.
Before you do, I'll just say, because I get so angry watching the news anyway, why just get angrier? So, but yeah, you saw it. Tell us about it.
The problem was it was very disjointed. You know, it was like 3 different kinds of movies at one time, and it just didn't flow. And then he brought in Flint again. You know, so we saw the Flint.
He's really upset.
Yeah,
he's
20
from there.
years
The
ago.
water's still not drinkable.
And it just wasn't. You know, there's other stuff I just really love. Sicko was one of my favorite documentaries.
Sicko's a work of art.
That was good.
One of my favorite documentaries of all time. And this is just not up there. You know, I said, who cares? And I think you could be right, because just seeing Trump also on the air in the film a lot doesn't bring me great joy anyway. So to see a lot of them, I couldn't
Exactly.
So he's just belly aching for 2 hours.
And now that I'm a little older and a little bit wiser, knock on wood, I know a lot of Michael Moore's tricks. When we first saw Roger and Me, it was like, yeah, take it to the man. This stinks, and this is horrible, and he's absolutely right. And he didn't know about his editing tricks and the way he tangles up the story to his point of view. I'm on this side of the fence, no doubt. But I just know more about his film tricks and all that. Roger Ebert, the great Roger Ebert, said when he was reviewing The Big Short, no, I think it was called The Big Short, not The Big Short, the big one,
Yeah.
Michael Moore's second movie. Roger Ebert said it wasn't as good, and it couldn't be because Roger Moore is now Michael Moore is now famous. It's not going to be the loner, the outside guy making a documentary in Flint, Michigan.
And it's not
Anything
so
after
personal,
that,
yeah.
it's like once you're famous, you really can't have the appeal it did. Yeah, I thought that was a cool point of view. So not worth seeing. Is that what you said?
I wouldn't rush out to see it. Even when it's on Netflix, I wouldn't rush out to see it. And I love documentaries, and
Yeah.
I love more stuff, but this one was a disappointment.
Okay.
Actually, it's funny about documentaries, and it's across the board. They're only going to. I can't talk tonight. They're only going to be viewed by the audience. It's
you're
aiming
preaching
at.
to the choir.
Preaching to the choir. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's why you hear all these smart words.
Well, I
That's
was
what I'm thinking of.
disappointed.
Yeah, they're always preaching to the choir, whether it's from the right or the left, and the other side's not gonna see it.
Well, the one film I wanted to see at the Grail and only ran for 1 week, and so the suggestion is if you see a good movie, make sure you see it in case it doesn't hold over for the second week.
Right.
Did you see the documentary about the 5 different parents of different children? They had
Oh, I wanted to. Not far from the tree. Not far from the tree. I wanted to see that
looked
so bad.
so good. And it was only 1 week, and I missed it.
Well, they got to go. I mean, that's a great cinema, but they got to go with the ka-ching. Whatever brings in the ka and the ching, right?
Yeah, and they said people weren't seeing it.
I know. It's like Mandy. They did hold over Mandy for a while. You guys know what I'm talking about? That crazy. It was the art house version of Death Wish with Nicolas Cage.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, I didn't see it.
I
That
am
is
so
so weird.
sorry that we are on the radio and the face I'm giving you is not translating.
Well, you'll see it on Facebook
Okay.
That's right. I
Live.
It
showed
looks
you
like
that
this.
trailer. That's right. I showed her that trailer, and she was all excited about it.
That's wonderful.
Hey, let's talk about something you are excited about. A little surprise review of The Wife.
Yeah.
We both got to see The Wife at the awesome Fine Arts Theater. Talk about
Well,
it,
your
please.
story is great though, because how you got out to see it, I think, is part of the story. You had a date.
So I'm a shut-in. I have a just now 1-year-old baby,
Yay.
so it takes an act of
Hey,
Congress for me to get out and go to a movie. And so me and my mom went. We took a night and went out and got a glass of wine and we saw The Wife. And
great.
I never know when I'm taking my mom to movies. Is it going to be awful and I'm going to have to apologize after this, or is it going to be great? And I had no idea going into this.
Because of me, you did once.
I know.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right.
Well, did you know what the movie was about?
Yes, to some extent. I had seen the trailer. I knew it's about this writer who finds out he's winning a Nobel Prize for Literature, and Glenn Close, the amazing Glenn Close, is playing his wife, and she's kind of having a hard time with that role, just being the woman behind the man. But that's all I knew about it.
I thought also, surprisingly, Close is getting all the recognition, and she'll get, I'm sure, nominated for an actress.
I think
Best
she's getting it
actress.
this year. Knock on wood, but I think she's
Cool.
getting it.
But I thought Jonathan Pryce was brilliant
He was
also.
great.
I've been a big fan of his ever since Brazil,
Yeah.
the best movie ever. See it? If you haven't, Brazil.
Yeah,
He's incredible.
It's tough to share the screen with Glenn Close, especially in this role, which is just made for her to just seethe and be Glenn Close and he held it together.
We were also talking off the air. What do you think about the characters who played them when the younger versions?
I thought they were god awful.
Hey now.
I mean, it was kind of.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I thought they were really, really bad.
Yeah.
The-
Well, especially the guy who played him, I didn't think was very good at all.
No, we were talking about how they kind of sort of
Right.
maybe resembled the older versions, the older actors, but I just thought their performances were really forced, really uncomfortable. Even like their kind of sexy scenes, it was like, ooh, yikes, this is kind of awkward and.
And the only thing I think brought it together made me realize they were supposed to be younger versions with that one scene where they were jumping on the bed. So
Yes.
they were jumping on the bed,
Yes.
so you knew when they were older they were jumping on the bed.
Right.
But otherwise than that, it didn't thrill me, their performances.
No.
But overall, you liked the film though.
But that's a small part of the film,
Yeah,
right?
it was
The
a
back-
small
the-
part.
the
The
flashbacks.
flashbacks, but
Right.
it was just it's such a great film. It has such a great cast, and yeah, it was kind of a bummer that they couldn't find some great new up and coming actors.
Let me ask you something else about the film too.
Yes,
I was
sir.
just wondering. I like the ending, but I'm
Can't
watching.
spoil it.
No, I won't
Okay.
exactly because T-Rex hasn't seen it yet, so
Yeah,
we don't
yeah.
want to tell him that.
Okay.
But I'm watching it. I don't know if you see this in other movies. there were like 3 separate endings it could have ended at, you know?
Yeah.
Like I was...
Yeah, I haven't seen The Wife, and at this rate, I probably never will. But
It's
No,
good.
that's a bad joke about
Oh.
Wife. So
Oh.
never mind. Sorry, everybody.
I missed
Sorry.
that. But anyway, do you find that though, that I'm watching a movie, I thought this is a perfect ending,
Mm-hmm.
and then there was another bit, it was a good ending, and then there was another bit, you know, there was a good ending. It could have ended...
I know exactly what you're talking about, and I remember going, I hope they don't just drop it here.
Right.
Because it'd be fine, you get it, but
Right.
I just wanted a little more of a bow on it.
Who directed it?
Oh, I
you
do
must
know. I do
complete
know.
that.
It's a Swedish guy.
Hey, a lot of good stuff coming
Yeah,
from Sweden.
and I looked at his other stuff and I had no idea.
Well, that's always the joke, you know, it's when you got a perfect name for a director. You know that guy. You know.
The Swedish guy.
No, but that would be a
Yeah,
good name.
you know that guy.
But wouldn't that be a good name for a director? The Swedish guy.
The Swedish guy.
Joey's the Swedish guy.
For over here.
Oh.
Sorry, I couldn't resist. I'm
Right.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Good film, we recommend it.
Yes, we do.
Great, good to see it. It's been at the Grail for a while. Speaking of great films and great theaters, I am so thankful the Brew, the Actual Pizza and Brewing, is showing Sorry to Bother You, Boots Riley's new satire. So if you haven't got a chance, you still have a chance, guys. Go to the Brew this week and
Okay.
catch the Sorry to Bother You. I saw it 3 times.
What is Sorry to Bother
Outstanding.
You?
It is set in an alternative, futuristic version of Oakland, and the actor from Get Out, he was the first brainwashed guy who
Yeah.
actually said the titular line.
Right.
He plays a guy who's struggling in Oakland, and he becomes a successful telemarketer because he sounds white.
I
Just
do
like
remember
me.
seeing the trailer for
Outstanding,
this. Yeah,
outstanding.
it's
Go
really
see
good?
it. Yeah,
Okay.
go see Sorry to Bother You. There's still time. It's still in the cinema. Yeah, excellent. Any trailers in front of?
Well, just before the
yeah.
trailer, another film at the Grill, I believe it's playing at the Grill, I was surprised, but they're also running A Star is Born. And I'm the only one, I think, of the
Yeah,
3 of us.
let's talk about that
who saw
too. I was like, do we need another remake of this? Really? Thoughts?
Well, I think you and I talked about it off the air. I love the early one of the remakes with Chris Christopherson and Barbara Streisand. For some reason, I like that. We've just seen it not too long ago on, I think, Turner Classic Movies. So same thing here. I was apprehensive about seeing a movie I'd seen
Right.
2 other times, but I enjoyed it. I thought Bradley Cooper was excellent,
Mm-hmm.
and anybody just knocks my socks off.
Can Lady Gaga act? I mean, I know she's
Yeah.
incredibly talented, and incredible
was
stage
great.
presence. Can she act?
Beautiful singing, and then she was quite good as the other performer. She'll probably get an actress award, they say.
Okay.
They say.
Well, then, do you think Bradley Cooper's getting Best Actor or Best Director?
Well, I think we're even possibly both, but it just
Okay.
amazes
It's that
me.
good, really.
Yeah, well, it just amazes me in general that anybody can do all 3. You know,
Yeah.
to write,
Talented
direct,
fella.
and to produce. I guess he
And
does.
well, he's got a pretty voice. He's singing in there,
Yeah,
right?
and
He is. It's not him lip syncing.
No,
I
that's
think
right.
he's
and,
singing.
and also, I was surprised to read that all the singing was done actually. You know, it wasn't
They
like
did it live.
yeah, live.
They didn't like sound studio
No.
either. That Nicole Kidman hit the note one time and they're like amplified, save.
You know, Lately Miserable, same thing too. They did supposedly all live.
Right.
But this was interesting, and he sings pretty good. Sort of like a Willie Nelson kind of character, and he looks
Mhm.
like a Willie Nelson character. But I enjoyed it. But we were seeing it, my wife and I, and saying it wasn't great. You know, it was like good, but not
Okay.
great. But it was watchable, definitely watchable plus.
Okay.
I gotta know,
Maybe I'll
did
check it
Willie
out.
Nelson have a sexy period in his career? I don't remember.
I'm not sure.
It's
Sure.
just been Bradley Cooper. He's kind of a hunky fella.
Yeah, but certain people like Woody
I like
Nelson.
Willie Nelson.
Yeah,
I
but
just
like
never
him,
thought of him that way.
Yeah, but certain people do. You
Okay.
know,
Here's some useless trivia for you on
Okay.
Bradley Cooper. I remember someone was talking about it was some review of old Bradley Cooper, and they included on their review an old clip of the Actors Studio with James Lipton
All right.
because they were interviewing one of your favorite actors, Meg, Sean Penn.
Bless him.
And one of the audience members who was in question time
Oh,
was
it's Bradley Cooper.
Oh,
It
right.
was
Oh.
like, oh, I'm
Oh,
Bradley, first year,
yeah.
blah, blah, blah. And then I forgot what the question was, but I was like, whoa, it's Bradley Cooper.
Are you being facetious about Sean Penn, or do you like Sean
I
Penn?
don't like Sean
But
Penn.
excepting one Sean Penn film, help me with the name, was it Sam?
I Am Sam.
Yeah, did
I
you
Am
like
Sam.
I Am Sam?
I actually
He
kind of
went,
did.
he went full retard though.
Okay,
Never go.
but I just loved the film. And who was the kid in it? Became a Dakota?
Is it Dakota Fanning?
Yeah, I think so.
That's right, because it's
That's right, it was.
That
But,
is who it
and
is,
the
but-
music was all Beatles music,
Mhm.
and you can say what you like, but I love that film.
Yeah.
You know.
I
know, I
thought it was a
don't
bit of an
know.
Oscar grab.
It
I mean,
was.
Like,
It was.
please.
You,
Although
you
we
can
already
feel
had
it.
one at
He's
the time.
got two. Does he have three?
He has two now.
Okay.
Mystic River,
Something.
Oh,
Mystic River, and Milk.
Yeah,
Right,
I
Mystic
wasn't
River.
crazy about Mystic River either, too.
Mystic River was great. It's a Clint. She doesn't like Clint Eastwood movies.
I don't like
directed.
Clint Eastwood movies.
He also got it from Milk. No, you gotta like Milk.
I didn't
Milk.
think he got it from Milk. I thought
He got it from Milk
I thought he
and
got
Mystic River. Mhm.
There
So
wasn't an
you're not
older
big,
one.
you're not a big Clint Eastwood film
I don't
fan?
really
But what's the one too? Again, I saw it recently again on TV. The one where he's the old guy and next to the kid. It's,
Oh yeah, and I can't.
Gran
remember.
Torino?
There you
Yeah,
go.
great
Good for
movie.
you.
I love that. Did you like that?
No.
No.
That's a guy's movie.
Well, and also
That's a
it's-
total guy movie. Great
A lot of times
yeah.
you've got Clint Eastwood, you know, he directing himself, and
Right,
he's just
right.
like, hey, I'm just being clearly the center of everything in the movie. He just can't not like be his own little god.
Well, it's funny because when that came out, it was all over the press. Like, this is his last film. He is retiring from acting.
Blah,
and
blah,
now in the
blah.
trailer segment later, when we talk about trailers,
Yeah,
he's
got a
got
new
another one
movie
coming
coming
out.
out.
He's acting in it.
Well, he's acting in it. Yeah.
Yeah, The Mule. We'll talk about it later.
All right.
Well, The Wife. Oh, before we change topics, have you wrote about it on your blog, The Wife? Have you?
It's come, yeah, but
Okay.
it hasn't published yet.
Great. We'll look forward
I
to
think
that.
it hits next Tuesday.
Well, let's keep going down the train. Something I saw just today. Bad Times at the El Royale, directed by Drew Goddard. You guys have probably seen the previews for this, right? The crime noir with Jeff Bridges, Dakota Johnson, John Hamm, and Chris Hemsworth, and a great performance by Cynthia Erivo. I hope I said that right.
Who
Sorry.
is she?
I looked at her IMDb. She hasn't done much. She
All right.
might be a singer because she plays this backup singer character, and
Okay.
has an incredible voice. She's also in Widows,
Okay.
that we're going to talk about soon.
All right.
But this is the way I call Bad Times at the El Royale. If an Agatha Christie book and a Tarantino movie had a baby, you would get this movie with a splash of DNA from Brian De Palma.
Okay.
Seven mysterious strangers meet at a rundown hotel in Lake Tahoe in the early 70s, each one with a secret to hide, all looking for just a place to crash, but fate has other things in mind. Retro noir is a familiar territory, especially after Tarantino. You guys would agree with that. Tarantino's kind of like the master of that, right?
Okay, I'll give him that.
But this has great style, outstanding production design, and the whole broken timelines thing and broken point of views, mostly centered around Jeff Bridges' character. And come on, who doesn't like Jeff
I was
Bridges?
just going to say that I don't think I've ever seen a Jeff Bridges movie I didn't like.
I know. The remake he did of a French movie, he kidnapped this woman and buried her alive. That was bad.
I did
I
see it.
liked that. The
No, The
Vanishing. I
Vanishing,
liked
oh,
it.
that was
no,
so
because I
bad.
like Nancy Travis in it.
Well, she was
What?
good in it.
Yeah,
Nancy,
the-
you don't see her in many.
Yeah,
Oh,
things.
Nancy Travis.
The
I thought
female-
you said I could see Travis in it. I was like, what? Nancy Travis was in it.
Yeah,
That- okay, okay.
the female hero that you don't see very often, and I
Mhm.
also like it because they kill Sandra Bullock.
Oh, really?
That's right. She was a victim. Yeah, I
But
never liked her.
I
either.
think
No.
why I didn't love the movie because
Okay.
I had seen the original French film.
Okay,
I
I've
don't
never
know.
seen
I don't
it.
know the name of it, but it was just great.
It was The Vanishing. Yeah, it was the
It was
original,
the
original title.
right?
Yeah.
But it was just great, and so this was just almost scene by scene, if I recall, of the
Yeah.
original French film, and so it was okay. But same thing too. I thought anything I watched,
Yeah, he's
he's in.
incredible.
How about
Yeah.
Against All Odds?
Take a look at me now. You sing it, Meg. I can't sing that song. I can't sing any song.
Just an empty space.
Mhm. That's a song. Whenever you just think of your last breakup, it's just like
Yeah, but
you
the
look
song
up
is the
and-
best part of the movie, and that's
Oh,
kind of sad.
yeah. I haven't seen that movie in so long. But yeah, Jeff Bridges is great. But to me, he's not the dude. He'll always be Jack Lucas from Fisher King.
I
Oh,
love
yeah.
Love
Uh,
Fisher King.
And
And Tron.
by the
Come
way,
on, Tron.
Tron
Yeah.
is good.
Here's
Tron is
another
good.
film you guys should see if you haven't seen it. Documentary,
Mhm.
the Robin Williams documentary.
The HBO one.
Yeah.
Come
Did you see
Inside My Mind
Did you
or
see
something
it?
like that.
Mhm.
But I don't know if
It
it's,
is good.
it was great, so touching, and so brings back Fish King, and you know,
Right.
he was just so good in so many films, except in.
Terry Gilliam, yeah.
But toward the end, I didn't like his films as much. Robin Williams, they were
No.
very dark, and
I think he was trying to get outside of his little box.
but then you notice that like
Yeah.
he was poignant in almost everything until the last 5 or 10 films. They were just very dark, very black. I didn't like
Well,
them
and
as
from
much.
what I've heard, that was very painful for him in his career, just because
Oh, really?
they didn't do as well. Because people
Yeah.
were like, "No, we don't want you to do that.
Right,
do,
exactly.
do the Robin Williams thing we'd like you to do." And so, he was on a TV show, and it wasn't even doing well.
Right, yeah, they only lasted 2 years.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Well, back on the Jeff Bridges front, there's one movie I absolutely love, one of my favorite movies of the 80s. Nobody talks about it. No critics, no one. Tucker.
Oh,
A Man
yeah.
and His Dream, the Francis Ford Coppola
Had
movie,
you ever
Yeah.
seen it?
where he
I've
plays
seen
the
Tucker.
card maker.
It was
Outstanding
Yeah.
film.
Fantastic film.
Mhm.
And no one I think he got nominated for an Oscar for Martin Landau, but it's
Yeah.
amazing.
Oh, that's right. That
And
is
no one
right.
talks
Yeah.
about it.
I
Yeah.
love
He
that
got
film.
it later
Right.
on for Ed Wood.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right. But yeah, Hotel Royale, it's got some shortcomings. The third act is a little bit long. Might have been better with a little trimming. It's just like once you get to that point, it was like, okay, we got it. Yeah, this whole violent scene and everything.
Okay.
And also, it was a spoiler, everybody. A spoiler for Hotel Royale. Chris Hemsworth plays, it's obvious he's like a Charles Manson type.
Okay.
The guy is just too good looking to play a Charles Manson type. If
Yeah.
you want a Charles Manson character, you got to go like full, like 4'2", ratty. I'm like, society's like a lava lamp, man. I'm not controlling the temperature. They are, man. There's the ones doing it. It's not me, man.
Well, could Hemsworth
He's
pull it
literally
off
doing
though?
that. What's
Okay,
that?
but could he pull it off? Just the
Oh,
the
he's great
lunacy?
in it. It's
Okay.
just like
He's just too pretty
it's
and
the
doesn't
one
work.
thing. I'm just not sure it was needed, but it's a cool character. I mean, you have to see it. I don't want to spoil it any
Okay.
further. He's a good actor. He can do more than the Thor
Okay.
thing.
All right.
Everyone's in it. It's a really cool movie, and of course, it's something new, something original, and it flops. I mean, cinema goes
Did
to
it
see
flop?
it. Yeah, it didn't do much this
Oh,
weekend.
okay.
Well, it wasn't even on my radar screen. I don't even think I saw coming. Do you see?
Oh
the
yeah, I've been
coming
seeing
attractions?
trailers, and
Yeah.
they're saying, oh, it's the greatest thriller, and I went, oh, it's a
It's
thriller?
also like
Okay.
First Man, which also tanked this weekend.
I didn't
for
realize
some
that came
reason.
out already.
Yeah,
First Man
it was
was-
third
Oh,
place.
it's Ryan Gosling
oh, yeah.
doing
Neil Armstrong.
Neil
movie.
Armstrong.
But I still
yeah.
want to see it though.
Yeah.
It looks incredible.
And
Looks
yeah,
incredible.
he's there's Oscar buzz around him too.
Yeah, he's good. He's
Yeah, we got some pretty guys competing.
I still
for
have
it
to
this
see the
year.
rest of what's the LA musical
Oh, La La Land.
La La Land. I gotta finish that one.
Yeah, sorry.
Did
It's
you
a musical. It's
did-
hard.
have
It's
you- Are
hard
you
for
30
T-Rex.
minutes into it?
Something like that.
Then
yeah.
you've seen it.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's all that
I did-
happens.
I did.
And that one song over and over
It's
again.
it's a bunch of white
You
people.
didn't like it though?
They're white splaining jazz.
Yeah,
pretty
They're white
much.
splaining jazz.
I loved it. Now here's the interesting thing about that film. It segues into my favorite film of all time, but the opening scene in La La Land is stolen almost scene by scene from a film called Young Girls of Rochefort. Have you ever heard of it?
No.
It's a Michel Legrand film, which is great.
Okay.
And so you'll see it if you ever see it. And that was Michel Legrand's second film. His first film was my all-time favorite film, Umbrellas of Cherbourg. And it's a
Wow,
French, if you don't like
never
musical, but it stars a very young
I
Catherine.
do like some. I mean,
Stars a very young Catherine Deneuve, and
Ooh, wow.
and I Will Wait for
Incredible.
You. I won't sing it, but you kind of know the song. But great film. And so I followed the filmmaker's career, and then like I said, Young Girls, Rochefort. Then I see it 30 years later. The opening scene of that opening scene, I thought it was a good
With the
opening
cars,
scene. Yeah,
with
didn't
the
you think
traffic.
it was good?
Yeah.
But-
yeah, I remember going, this might be okay.
Right.
And then no.
So you weren't disappointed when it didn't win Best Film.
No, although I didn't like Moonlight
I
either.
didn't either.
I'm kind of hateful
What?
though.
See, we had this fight. I
kinda
told you
hate
she's like
everything.
Siskel Niebuhr.
I'm
We're Siskel
sorry.
Niebuhr.
Yeah.
How could you not like Moonlight?
It was
What are you
just
talking
sad. It
about?
was
Let's
just 2
fight.
hours of
Fight.
sad. It's,
Yeah.
okay, this is him sad as a small child. This is him as a teenager sad.
What-
This is him growing up sad. And it's just like, is anything going to work out? No.
But it's funny you said that because if all things being equal now, I'm going to see a movie. I don't want it to be a sad movie.
No,
for the
or
most part.
at least let me learn something. I feel like I sat and watched
Yeah,
this
I agree
kid
with you.
suffer.
But have you seen, that demographic represented so well? I mean, there's a lot to it. I just want a good story, sad or
That's-
not.
that's
You know me,
true.
I like those crazy, depressing endings with
Well,
no
where
answer.
Was, where was the
So just
story?
give me a
There
great
was no
story.
story. He was sad.
I like that. We should be able to do that.
I guess I just drank the Kool-Aid,
Right,
man.
No,
let's-
that's T-Rex's reviews, which I love. But wouldn't that be cool if you just gave reviews 3 words or less?
He was sad.
You ain't sad. It's
White
sad.
people dance.
Actually, speaking of reviews,
I can do this.
how about you guys want a short review in 5 words or less? How about? By the way, the earlier film we talked about was A Bad Night at the Hotel A Bad Night at the El Royale. Definitely go see it, guys.
Okay.
It's really cool, especially if you're into Tarantino style
I like this
movies.
stuff, yeah.
See it, definitely see it. But here's a fun review we can do in maybe 5 words or less.
Hemsworth's not Manson.
There you go.
I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying this
But
challenge.
this one here is Venom.
Oh.
I'll miss
Directed
it.
by Ruben Fleischer of another Sean Penn classic, Gangsta Squad. That one line where Sean Penn went, "Say hello to Santa Claus." I'm guessing you didn't see that, Meg. It's hard. It was horrible.
I missed that
Oh,
one too.
no.
And he also directed Zombieland. I'm the only person. I didn't drink the Kool-Aid. I did not like Zombieland. I'm over zombies. I can't stand the main actor in it, the kid from Social Network,
Oh, Jesse Eisenberg.
Jesse Eisenberg.
No, I
Only
don't
thing
like
that
Kristen
saved that movie,
Stewart.
right?
Yeah.
Same here. Exactly on the same page. Only thing that saved Zombieland was Bill Murray. Yeah, that scene
Yeah,
was the
that's
best.
the only
No.
like the best cameo on film potentially ever.
Incredible.
I
It's
didn't
Bill
see
Murray.
It's not actually good, but you should watch that one scene.
Well,
Yeah, just watch it. It's probably on YouTube by
YouTube.
now.
Let me ask you, do you ever, when you're seeing a bad film, or
Yeah.
either you guys ever walk out of a film?
I almost walked out of The Lobster.
Oh, we'll get to that. I was
But
just
I was
about
with
to
Chris
get to
and
one
he
right
was-
now,
yeah.
Blaine. I was just about to get to
What?
you
this
you
one.
did walk out.
But
A Venom, no. It's just,
Oh.
it's actually a fun movie, but it's a dumb movie. It's space goo crashes on Earth and through a horrible script finds a reporter down on his luck. Goo and said reporter join forces to make one heck of a buddy cop movie. It's a dumb B movie, but you have fun because of the great Tom Hardy.
He's just a wonderful.
Yeah,
actor.
See
it
this
is.
on a discount night or a matinee.
Okay.
If you don't see it, it's no big loss. If you are a huge Spider-Man fan, maybe not see it because this will make you very angry. Yeah, Venom, dumb, bad B movie, but it's fun.
Because that's the thing, you can never tell, even with a great lead actor, because, you know, when someone says, you want to play Venom, you go, uh-huh.
Yeah, it's
If-
Tom
do
Hardy.
you
He's
want-
great. I'm a big fan.
Yeah,
how
do you
he-
want to
how does
play
he
Batman? Yes, I do.
How does he do all those accents? I mean, a lot of European
he's
English
just
actors
a
can do
wonderful
it.
actor. He's
but
just
he-
one of
he is
those
great.
for real talented
Yeah, I'd like to
fellas.
see him do James Bond. I think he'd be a really
He would make
cool
a nice
Bond.
James Bond. He's not all that pretty. You can tell that they're trying to pretty him up progressively through
Yeah.
every movie he does so that he can be like
Yeah.
a hunky leading man.
And he's a little short. I mean, he's wearing like high heel boots in the Batman movie when he was Bane.
Oh, really?
But you know, that's Hollywood. Everybody does that. But he's a great actor.
He's a great
incredible
actor.
voices, especially the one with he and Shia LaBeouf with the Moonshiners. Gary Oldman was in that. I forgot the name. Going blank here. Sorry.
No, what are you talking about? I have
It's
no
a-
idea what you're talking about.
Movie with Shia LaBeouf, Tom Hardy, Gary Oldman. It's all about moonshine and Appalachia.
Wow, no.
I have to look it up. Look at home.
All right,
kids.
look. Hey, Gary
Tom,
Oldman movies.
but yeah, Tom Hardy's a great actor. What do you think, Blaine?
same thing too.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't he also, he was in a couple of films, he used to be stockier and heavier, was he at one time, when he first
Well, he's
came?
one of those method guys.
Right.
He's
Yeah.
built, he's skinny, he's fat, it's like the upcoming movie with Christian Bale as Dick Cheney.
Yeah,
Oh
can you
yeah,
imagine?
Seen that?
he'll be whatever you want him
Oh,
to be.
exactly.
No, do you want to see that?
I do. Well,
You could-
I love Christian Bale.
Well,
for,
Christian
for
Bale's
a
great. I
long
love
time.
The Big Short. Sorry,
That-
Ian Patrick Mendez.
No,
It's a
no,
great
no,
movie.
That is my like childhood crush.
What?
Christian Bale did
Empire of the
Newsies.
Sun.
No,
And
not
Newsies,
that young,
and
not that
Newsies.
young.
He
but
was in Newsies?
He was the lead in Newsies. He's singing and dancing, and I was 12, and it was like yes.
Wait, Newsies, the
Yeah.
show, you mean?
Yeah, the 1990 musical with Robert Duvall.
Starting now, I'm the king of New
No,
York.
I know well, I just saw a version in New Jersey when I was there. I'm trying to get them to bring it to Asheville.
I
and
saw it in Greenville last year.
And people tell me, I love the show,
Yeah.
and I don't buy it. I won't tell you who told me in Asheville, but said they can't do it in Asheville because they don't have the dancers, the male dancers. I said, right, I said, first of all, they have females in the show.
Right.
They could, Newsies were
Yeah,
kids.
yeah.
One of my favorite shows of all time. Christian Bale was in it.
Mm-hmm.
Who you said?
Oh,
Bale?
oh yeah, he's the lead. He's Jack Kelly because that's
Kelly.
There we go, Jack Kelly.
Yeah.
Wow.
The lead Newsies.
I
I'm
can
actually
see him.
surprised there wasn't a
Wait,
stage adaptation.
There was. Wait, let me ask you. So that was I missed the movie. It was a 1990 movie,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a musical.
Mm-hmm.
Because then I saw the stage version of it, and it came to, when they do the stage musicals. I saw that just a couple of years ago. But I'll have to look for the original. Oh, did I love that
Yeah, it's a Disney
show?
movie. So he did that, and then he was Laurie in Little Women.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But
Well, speaking
I
of
went- I
speaking
went
of
for
Disney, I have a
Holiday
big question for you, Meg. A big question. Speaking of Disney, Newsies, and trailers. Hold on
Uh-huh.
one second. But first, let's remind everybody the Shine Box is underwritten by Grail Movie House, Asheville's newest art house cinema, locally owned with local brew. Showing this weekend is A Star Is Born, Tea with the Dames, and Free Solo. Don't miss the Halloween sneak preview of Suspiria, Wednesday, October 31st. More information at grailmoviehouse.com. All right, Meg, the big question.
I'm wondering if you're going to ask me
Speaking of Disney,
what I was going to bring
this
up
really
earlier.
made me mad.
Robin Williams, no? What?
Yep, it has to do with Robin Williams.
All right, all right.
Did you see the teaser
Yes.
for Aladdin?
Aladdin.
Are you mad?
I'm not mad. I mean, they're trying to just suck all of the money out of Disney.
Oh, they're
How
gonna
many
remake
times?
everything.
Oh yeah. I mean, they're. Oh God, Dumbo's gonna put me into therapy. We need to do a
Timber.
live
Actually,
action Dumbo.
I'll give it a chance
I
on
can't.
Dumbo.
If I see actual elephants crying in the circus and they play Baby
just-
Mine, I'm just gonna die.
I just want to see a live action version of Big Elephants on Parade.
Ugh.
Big Elephants on Parade.
Ugh,
It's
well,
gonna
they
be
can
trippy.
CG that. I mean, but
Oh wow.
but
But Aladdin, what do you
But
think?
Aladdin, I mean, the teaser didn't tell us much. It looks like they know what they're doing, but you know,
We actually know what's going to happen because
we know what's gonna. Well, yeah,
that's
but
why I
we
didn't
knew
go
it was
see
gonna
the-
happen anyway.
I didn't
I
see
mean,
the Beauty and the Beast CGI
It's
nonsense.
cute,
I'm like,
it's
really?
cute.
I'll stick with the classic.
No, you'll.
And they don't need
They'll
Disney.
suck you in. They'll get you.
Disney doesn't need my money.
They're Disney. They know how to get you. But I did. I remember seeing it and going, okay, it's Aladdin. How are they gonna do it? He's dead.
Yeah.
And I looked up who's playing the genie. You know who's
Oh
playing it?
yeah.
It's Will Smith.
Will Smith.
And not that he's, I mean, again.
It's giving me a nightmare on my street. Let me tell you.
You know, he's a
Thank you,
talented
Blaine.
fellow,
Thank you,
but
Blaine.
I don't know. It's kind of like why don't put him in that arena. You don't try to fill Robin Williams' shoes. No one's brain works
Exactly.
like that.
That's why I didn't go see the new It, because I'm sorry, you're not Tim Curry. I don't want to see a replacement.
Yeah.
You know. Thoughts, Blaine? The old Disney movies doing the old remake over and over. Thoughts on the new Aladdin?
Same thing too. If I've seen it, you know,
Mhm.
once, your point about you know, the song the movie we were saying about with Bradley Cooper.
Mhm.
You know, oftentimes if I've seen a movie once, especially a Disney movie, I've seen it. You know, as
You're like George Harrison. You just go, it's been done.
wait, I'll give you another example. Annie is
Yeah.
my daughter's favorite film
Mhm.
as a kid. Did
Oh.
you see the original
Oh
Annie?
yeah, with what's his name? The
Tim
guy
Curry's
that-
in that.
Did I see?
No.
And Albert Finney.
Albert Finney. Thank you.
But my daughter,
That's right. It is Tim Curry and Carol Burnett.
Right.
She's his,
Carol
that's
Burnett.
the brother.
and,
Yeah.
and I forget who played the kid at the time, but my daughter's all-time favorite movie. She loved it as a kid. When they did the remake, I thought it was terrible.
It
You know,
was
they did
bad.
it really bad.
It was bad.
They did it, you know, 20 years later.
Jamie Foxx.
Yeah, it wasn't good though.
No.
Cameron Diaz singing.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly.
Ugh.
And Carol Burnett was so great.
She
and
was
they
so
were-
great.
Yeah.
She's just
Mhm.
so funny.
Yeah, so that's except that, you know, it's an interesting point we're raising though, because, you know, movies should be experienced, I guess, by other generations. You know, so do you have
Good point,
do you have
good
the
point.
people see them, the originals, or do you wait to see, you know, a 30, 40, 50-year-old version?
Right, and they're with things like Annie, they're remaking it, trying to make it completely different for a modern era. So, like Cameron Diaz, instead of Mrs. Hannigan running the orphanage, she's a foster mom who's trying to suck all the money she can out of the government and not take care of her foster
Right,
children.
yeah.
And it was kind of like, okay, I see what you're doing, and good for you, I guess.
Well, let me ask this, guys. This is a good question. If you start remaking everything and everything and everything, like imagine this is the 80s, right? Maybe we're back in the 80s,
Mhm.
and this is not it's better than my day, darn it. It's not one of those. I promise it's not one of those. But here's a question. If we were kids in the 80s, when we were going to cinema and getting into film,
How about 60s?
and 60s, sure. All right, 60s, 80s, if they were doing all these giant, and they did remakes then, but not
Right.
this much. If they were doing remakes of everything that came out over and over, would we have the memories we have now of going to the cinema to see Indiana Jones or Back to the Future? You know what I'm saying? So shouldn't we give these kids, their own memories? If this makes any sense, forgive me. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's do give them original stories of their own to grow up with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, no, that's I think what you're saying, the original stories. Like I'm thinking, we're blessed, all of us, in that you and I were talking off the air about Turner Classic Movies, TCM, and I love Turner Classic Movies because I get to see movies from the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and I love them in the original, and yet
I
a
love
lot
that
of
channel.
But a lot of people don't watch that channel. You know, I think older people, if you will, tend to watch the channel. So I was looking this week, for example, at some of the stuff on Turner Classic Movies. One of my favorites is A Day at the Races. You know.
Oh, Marx Brothers.
Yeah,
Come
and
on.
it's going to go on Sunday at
love
8 a.m. Have you ever
I
seen
have
Marx
not
Brothers?
seen it. Yeah,
Have you seen Marx
I have never
Brothers?
seen a Marx Brothers movie.
Well, put it down.
Okay.
8 a.m. 1-year-old.
Okay. Yeah, I'm up.
Exactly. 8 a.m. Turner Classic Movies. Now that's a good point though. So I grew up on Marx Brothers films, or saw them, and I love them, but you've never seen them, but you've heard of them.
Yeah.
You have to see
Oh,
it.
you have to see them. They were the
Okay.
South Park of their day.
Right, they
Okay.
were. But so your point is an interesting one, is that, how do people be exposed to that part of history, you know, unless you watch them on Turner Classic Movies?
Yeah.
And would I want to see that movie done again, 50, you know, a remake of 50 years later? And the answer is probably not. You know, because it's such a classic as is. One other one's coming up this week, my all-time favorite musicals, Gypsy.
Yeah.
Now, have you ever seen Gypsy?
Yes, I've seen
Have you,
Gypsy.
well, you don't like musicals
I
that
haven't
much?
seen it.
Okay. Let's see, Gypsy.
I know.
Even the show
I know some of
version?
the songs.
Right. But anyway, so it's the original. And I
That's the
think-
one with Natalie Wood is the
Yeah, very good.
burlesque dancer.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
I know of it. There we go.
But it's a great
Yeah, they're good.
movie. But I'm saying, okay, but I'm saying you wonder, like, kids like my daughter probably never even saw it, you know, and how can you not see it?
Yeah.
But that's the beauty of old films, not necessarily being redone.
Well, you know, sometimes there is a new musical that is a hit with the young kids,
Right.
and again, I thought it was pretty terrible, but people love the recent Hugh Jackman Showman, The Greatest Showman musical. I'm like,
Oh, I just saw it on HBO.
Now, what do you think?
Ooh.
exactly.
See,
Ooh,
I'm
it's
not-
a bunch of sugar and cotton candy
Yeah.
and pretty colors
And people that
Ugh.
can't sing so well being thrown over people who can, and it doesn't matter.
I'm the minority. I loved it.
You
my,
loved
My
it,
wife
okay.
loved it.
Oh.
Just,
nothing wrong with that.
but isn't that interesting about movies in general? You
Mhm.
know, that you can have people, no matter how misguided it may be, have opinions. You know.
This guy over
No,
here.
but that's the fun of movies. I really think that, you know, you can like something and I can dislike it, and that's just kind of neat. But
Just so people on the radio know, he just tried to take out my heart. Blaine tried to rip out my heart for not liking musicals, just like in
No,
Temple of
very-
Doom.
yeah.
Oh, sorry,
But
Blaine, go
anyway,
ahead.
but I did like The Great Showman, and
Hey, I like some musicals. You know, I love Hedwig and the Angry Inch.
Do
I
you?
love, yeah, I love
Okay.
Cats.
That's interesting.
No,
You
not
love
Cats. No,
Cats?
chess.
Alright.
Not Cats. Whoa.
Okay.
Do you
Don't
like
strike
Cats?
me down. I meant
I-
chess. Chess.
Hated Cats.
I mean, the
Thank you.
music
Me
is
too.
good. I'm
Oh.
not saying
meant
it's not,
chess.
but I do feel like you should like drop acid and see it or something, because otherwise it just doesn't make sense and people are being weird.
Yeah. Remember my daughter, again, one of the first Broadway shows she ever saw, and she was scared by it because all of a sudden these big cats are coming into the audience.
It's
and-
trippy.
yeah, it's
I mean,
really-
it's
your
you
point's
got
well
these
taken.
actors and they're all kind of, we're Jellicle cats, we're Jellicle cats. And you're like, what is going on?
Hey, if I could sing and dance, though, I wouldn't mind having the same part for 20 years.
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
their dancing
Great
is great.
work.
The costumes are.
Nice work, as you can get. Yeah, there's some musicals out there. I mean, come on, Rocky Horror is a musical, right?
Yeah.
Phantom of the Paradise, classic. You know that one,
Okay.
Blaine, right?
The-
Phantom of
oh,
the Paradise.
from the movie.
One of
sure.
Brian De Palma's first
Yeah.
movies. The midnight movie before Rocky Horror is classic. Hey, let's talk about something, maybe some new movies in this list here. It's time for a little trailer talk.
Yay!
Because trailers used to be after the movie. All right, let's have some fun with
Wait,
this
before
stuff.
you do that, quick
Please.
question. Also, in movies, one of the things I used to love, and they don't do it anymore, after the movie, and even before the movies, when they put the actors' pictures and their names before a film, sometimes they did it after the film.
Oh,
Have
you mean opening titles?
Opening titles, you see the actor with the name.
I miss opening titles.
Yeah, do you remember that? But you see
Mhm.
the actor, but even at the end, you'd sometimes see a movie. You never saw that? Where they put the guy's name who was playing the character, and the character who played in the movie.
Yeah.
I think it's a shame they don't do that anymore,
Yeah.
because it helped the stars become known.
Yeah.
You know, 5 or 6 people in the
Oh,
film.
if I had the power, Blaine, I would get rid of TV and streaming, and it would be like the silent golden days, where you have to go downtown and wait in line, and there's like a venue of grand cinemas, and there's ushers dressed up in like red military style, and you know, it'd be like the old days, olden days.
Now, just to devil's advocate you, when you stream a movie on your tablet or
the thing about Jay
blatant lack of technology knowledge here, but
Your
they
little
always
doohickey.
have, this is how far you are through the movie, and these are the actors with their pictures and names under it in the scene. And yeah, it's really kind of a hoot, because if you're watching something like Orange is the New Black, where everyone looks kind of rough and haggard, you go, look how pretty she is. Oh my God, she cleans up well.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, also we haven't, even in my generation, there was never lobby cards. That'd be cool. Bring back lobby cards. I think sometimes the Grail does that. They'll have lobby cards in the lobby for some. That's kind of cool. But let's talk about some new movies coming out. Opening this weekend at the Grail is a documentary called Free Solo. Again, documentary is a niche thing. You're going to go into it if you're the audience for it. This documentary is about Alex Honnold, a freestyle rock climber. No ropes, no harnesses. As the great comedian Paul Mooney says, that's things white people do. They got the time to do crazy stuff. Exactly. Rock climbing. Get real quick into that. What do you think?
I mean,
No, moving on.
I'll listen. What was the documentary though about the guy who climbed up the buildings?
Oh, the one about the World Trade
Yeah.
Center. Oh, what was the name of that?
He was a French guy, right?
And they made a
the guy
movie
who
out of
walked
it.
the tightrope?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But that was good though.
It was.
They did a movie.
Man on a Wire.
Man on
Man on
Wire.
Wire.
Man on Wire.
And Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Did a
I didn't see-
dramatized
did-
version.
Did you see the
Right.
movie version?
I saw the movie
I didn't see
version.
that. Was it good?
It is good. It's. I think Joseph Gordon-Levitt is so talented.
He's a great actor.
He surrounded himself with French people, with
Oh,
real
interesting.
French people, and he's doing the lead, and he's doing a French accent, and it's just.
Oh boy.
It's close.
Oh.
Oh, but not quite. Yeah.
But no, the
He
doc.
did do. Speaking of biopics that he did, the one, and I thought it was going to be a huge comeback for Oliver Stone, the Snowden movie
I
Yeah.
missed
with
it.
Joseph
saw
Gordon-Levitt.
that.
I loved it. He was amazing in it.
He was good. He's a good actor.
People need to see that movie. And by the way, people, when you're using your cell phones or iPads, wave to the camera because they're always watching you. I mean, it's an amazing film. And we knew all that before the
Oh,
movie.
by the way, another Levitt film was it one of the first ones, 500 Days of Summer.
He's great in
Yeah,
that.
That's awesome.
One of my
That's a
favorite.
great movie.
Didn't you love that?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
it's just-
and that's a musical, sort of. They sing a couple times in there.
Yeah, it's with one of my Hollywood crushes, Zoe
Zoe
Deschanel.
Deschanel.
Yeah, but I love
Great
that
movie.
movie.
Yeah.
With a great last line, one of the great
Yeah.
last lines,
Of
like,
all
"Hello,
time.
what's your name? My name is Otto."
Mhm,
Great
yeah.
line.
Now people don't have to see it. Then you gave it away.
Well, it's a little bit of time on that one. A little bit of time on that one. Let's go talk about a little Swedish film. Looks incredible. Can't wait for this. Border. A customs officer with a chromosome disorder meets a lovely stranger at the airport. He helps her enjoy her life and reveals a mysterious past. Incredible trailer. It's a Swedish film. Check it out. Called Border. See it, everybody. Now, here's one we definitely want to talk about. And you can guess the title from this. You better make a good movie, people, and do justice to Freddie Mercury.
Oh.
I am really nervous
Yeah,
about this.
I know, I am
I'm going to
too.
see it opening night, but you better make a great film and not a standby, by the numbers biopic with
What
Bohemian
time-
Rhapsody.
yeah.
What do you think?
What time does opening night happen? Is that like that's like
There'll be a
9
Thursday.
p.m. right?
There'll be a Thursday
So
at
you-
9.
you're doing 9 a.m. and I'm like,
Thursday sometime like that.
you want me to stay up till like 11?
Me too. I'm asleep by then. You know.
But you guys love Freddie Mercury.
Yeah.
You know
We
what I'm
love
talking
Freddie
about. I'm
Mercury.
nervous about
Wait,
this
it's
movie.
funny you say that, but the attractions look great. I
They
think.
do.
And the music you listen to it sounds
Mhm.
great.
Well, it's Freddie Mercury. I don't think Remy Malik is
I
singing
don't
in
think
this.
so. Because no one can do that.
What?
See, what makes me nervous?
Sing like Freddie Mercury.
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of the point.
So you think they're using his?
I certainly hope so.
Yeah.
What makes me nervous is, you know, the behind the scenes they had with Sacha Baron Cohen. He was going to be Freddie Mercury, and he wanted to do a more dramatic story about,
Right.
quote unquote, the dark side, and
And it
really show him
was-
as a human being.
Yeah.
And Queen just wanted to show the music and show the band and all the pretty stuff, and so I'm really nervous about that.
No, because didn't David Fincher walk from the project as well?
Really, no, I
I
didn't
believe
know.
so.
But no offense to
No, Brad. Oh,
Am I
Brad
getting
Singer.
confused?
No,
I know.
X-Men.
Brian Singer?
Brian Singer. Yeah, he was fired from it.
Okay, I don't think I'm getting my David Fincher and my Brian Singer confused.
Yeah, it's an interesting story. Why he was fired. I don't know what's going
But you know,
on.
it's interesting. You said something about a standard biopic. Even a standard biopic, that's another film I'm a sucker for. You
Mhm.
know, that almost any biopic I'm going to enjoy.
Yeah, I just want to learn and
Right,
be
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I remember when this happened. You
Now, I
know.
thought the one about, I think it was called Get On Up. It was the oh my gosh,
James Brown.
James Brown movie,
Yeah.
and that's when I learned he beat his wives and his girlfriends. I was like,
I
oh
thought-
no,
but I thought that was
no.
good. Did you
But it
enjoy
was
that?
told well. It had a
Right.
non-linear structure.
Well-
Also, the Miles Davis one was
I
excellent.
missed that. Yeah.
Great, the Miles Ahead. That's what it was
Did you see
called.
that?
I did not.
But going back to the one you just mentioned, the James Brown one, who was
Sure.
the guy who starred in that?
It's the same guy who did Martin Luther
He's
King.
a Black
And-
Panther.
And he also did
He's
40.
Black Panther.
Is Black Panther?
Didn't he do
Mhm.
40?
Great actor.
Didn't he
David,
do 42?
oh, yeah.
He was also Jackie Robinson.
He was
That's
just
right.
great.
Oh, okay.
He's an
He did
outstanding
Jackie
actor.
Robinson.
Great
That's right.
actor.
Okay.
He's so good. I'm blanking on his name. Forgive me, everybody. Yeah, incredible actor.
Yeah, but it's, so anyway, anything he's in, I'm going to like for the most
Definitely.
part.
Definitely. That's like go see Venom for Tom Hardy because he's a great actor. Moving on down the line, speaking of comic book movies, Captain Marvel. The next big thing from MCU. I'm sure you guys are familiar with MCU a little bit. It's the first female-led movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah,
What do you think?
Wonder Woman made money, so now we can try it again.
Yeah, they could be taking a little juice from DC on that
Yeah.
one. It was the only good DC movie.
Did you see, are you going to see that?
Yeah, oh, I love Brie Larson.
Yeah,
so
well, that's tough. Let's talk about her because
Yeah.
thanks for reminding me. I love her too, but I don't usually like comic book movies.
Right.
So I want to ask you. So Brie Larson mentioned the film we talked about off the air. One of our favorites was
Room.
yeah, and you saw it. Your mom saw that with you her too.
So she won the Academy Award
And
for
She did.
that.
She got the Oscar.
Your mom won the Academy Award.
My mom won the Academy Award. It
Wow.
happened. I was there. She
Yeah.
thanked me.
3 degrees of separation right here, buddy.
No.
But did she like it?
She did.
Oh, I just love that.
Mhm.
And what was the other film you mentioned that she was in?
Oh, she did. The next movie that people saw, I think, it was Glass Castle. It's a true story of a journalist who grew up. Her parents were kind of hippies, and they
Right,
were
yeah.
squatters and
She
traveled
was
across
also
the
in
country.
another
Right.
comic book movie. She was in Scott Pilgrim versus the
That's
World.
right.
She was the
She's-
vegan
yeah.
ex, the
But she
vegan.
was-
No, she's the rock star, the rock singer. She is Envy Adams.
Oh.
Wow, that
But
was
she
in
was
my
also
brain.
in a film about
Wow.
Appalachia too, wasn't she? We were talking about it, that she was in a film that she was in an Appalachian setting. Anyway, she's a great actress. But I'll miss the film Wonder Woman. Did you like it?
I did like Wonder Woman. You didn't like it? Okay.
I
Fight,
don't want to
fight.
feel
No,
right.
it's all right. I don't think we've matched anything all night.
Why didn't you like it, Blaine? I mean, it's okay. You don't have to drink the
I
Kool-Aid.
like it at the beginning. Any film like it, the first half I thought was really good, and then the second half when they start flying in the air and they do
Yeah.
supernatural stuff, it just lost it. Wonder Woman I remember from comic books, you know, just kind of really cool chick,
Mhm.
and then it just lost it the whole second half, and then the monster became, you know, it's monster films.
I'll give
There's
you
actually
that.
a film you might dig. It came out shortly after Wonder Woman. It was called Professor Marsden and the Wonder Women,
Right.
and about his
It's the
interesting
women
life
that he based
and
on.
his creation
Yeah.
of Wonder Woman.
Well, talk about that film because I like that film.
I haven't seen it.
Did you see it?
I did not see
I
it.
like the film. Reminds me of another film I saw in just recently. What's the one about Winnie the Pooh? There were the two Winnie the Pooh movies.
Yeah, there were two, like
Right.
a year apart.
The Ewan
One
McGregor
was,
movie?
yeah,
Right.
the new
Did
one
you
is
see-
Ewan
Did
McGregor.
you see that McGregor film?
No, it came
Did
and
you see
went.
that?
Yes, I
Came
did.
and went.
Okay, I liked it.
I liked it.
But did you see the one before it?
Yes, it was Goodbye Christopher Robin.
I love that film. You didn't like it?
I did. I
Oh.
did like it, but yeah, it definitely is sad. But it's a true story. I mean, what are you supposed to do?
But I thought that was really good.
It was very
and it's
well
very,
done.
very well done, very realistic.
Mhm.
The McGregor thing was a Disney film, and it was, you know.
Yes, you should watch that after you watch this.
And that's
and
what
be
we
like,
did.
everything's fine.
Yeah.
Winnie the.
But the first one, if you get a chance, I thought it was great.
It's good. It's
The one with Margot Robbie. There was one
It's
with
Margot Robbie being his mom, and Domhnall Gleeson is A. Milne,
And
and
great.
Kelly MacDonald.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
Oh,
she's
her
just
movie
wonderful.
Puzzle from this summer, Puzzle with Kelly MacDonald, outstanding. See that
Quir-
little film, nobody saw it.
Yeah,
Okay.
quirky film.
Puzzle, I loved it.
Puzzle.
Did you like?
Yeah.
Oh, I loved it.
I would have wanted to see more of the puzzle part of it. You know,
Yeah.
it's just a very small part of it, but interesting film.
Yeah, I would go into it more, but there's spoilers. But yeah, just a couple of movies here left, but we have some time here on WPVM on the Shine Box. We talk a little bit about Clint Eastwood, and let's talk about a little more of this one, The Mule. After retiring from acting in Gran Torino,
It's
Clint
sort of
Eastwood,
like Anthony Hopkins.
right,
Yeah.
and also Daniel Day-Lewis, he said that too. He'll come back. In this one, Clint Eastwood returns to play a 90-year-old who helps smuggle some drugs, also with Bradley Cooper. Did y'all see the trailer yet?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
See, I'm a Clint Eastwood fan,
Yeah,
so
I'll
I
watch
dug
it.
it. Yeah, it looks cool.
But
right.
there was another film.
Yeah, Man Tough. This is Man Tough.
You
man.
know, great film. There was a foreign film, maybe Spanish, about a woman who was a mule. It was a foreign film a couple of years ago. Do you know what I'm talking about?
It's like a documentary. She's actually a mule, or is
Yeah,
it-
sure, but it was real. It was a fiction film.
Oh, okay.
But it's just a great film of that whole subject. So I'll see the Eastwood film.
Cool. Yeah, it does look good.
Yeah.
You know, he's always, to me, he surprised me in most of his films. He'll do a main story in the trailer and it goes like totally crazy, like in $1 Million Baby. I thought it would be like a female Rocky and the boxing, and no, it was about that right to life and all that stuff. It was like, whoa, where are we going with this?
It's
Yeah.
like, oh no, I thought I was going to enjoy it.
Oh, well, we're not a
Glad-
fan, so
glad
we'll
you
move
took
on.
care of that,
We'll move
Clint,
on.
thank you.
Let's talk about a powerful actor and a powerful film right here. It's a great Viola Davis. I think you should call her a dame too, right, Meg?
Well, she's not a
incredible. She's
Yeah.
incredible.
Not,
This is
not a
Widows.
not a British citizen, so that'll
True.
slow her down.
We should have an American name of that. Viola Davis, powerful, one of my favorite actors. She is
Great
incredible.
actress.
This is Widows. She stars in a new film by Steve McQueen, his first movie after 13 Years a Slave.
Yep.
4 women are four women indebted to the mob because of their husbands decide to change the rules of the game and turn the tables based on the book of the same writer of Gone Girl.
Yeah, Gillian Flynn.
Gillian Flynn
And
book.
I've become kind of since having the baby, I've become a little bit of a Gillian Flynn connoisseur because I'm up all night reading.
The Gone Girl I like.
I thought it was really cool.
And
Really
they just
cool.
did an HBO series of Sharp Objects, which was another one of her books.
That's interesting.
Amy Adams.
Did you watch it?
I did.
And I was disappointed I read because I love Amy Adams, but then they were going to do a second season and she didn't want to do it. Did you read that? Amy Adams.
No.
She refused. It was very
There's only
popular.
one book.
But they were going to do it to continue the story somehow. Amy Adams, she said she was so into the film. It was so hard
It's
for her to
darker than
do.
I've seen her do before.
So she said she wouldn't do a
I
second
don't blame
season.
her. I don't blame her. But sorry, we got off topic.
No,
Yeah,
it's
Gillian
fine.
Flynn. So she's written, she writes great roles for women, and this is for women. And
Rosamund Pike, who was Gone
yeah.
Girl. I thought she was going to get the Oscar that year, and I'm forgetting who won it
Who was
that
she
year.
up against? It was
I'm going blank.
it was someone that she couldn't have it.
Oh, she
It was
was
like, ooh, she's not getting anywhere near that
so
Oscar.
scary and Gone Girl.
I
She
feel like
was,
she was,
wasn't she?
I feel like she
Great
was
actress.
beaten by Helen Mirren or something. It was just like, you can't have that Oscar.
She was
Don't
actually in a
pretend
film
you
last
can
year
get-"
with your crush, Christian Bale, Savages.
Yeah.
I really wanted to see that. I mean,
It's a
it was apparently an
cowboy-looking
Oscar-bait
movie.
movie, but it looked so good.
And
Savages.
she's in another film, don't ask me the name, but we taped it on HBO, which is the mother, and she's separating from her husband, and they raise young kids, and it's a very touching, sweet little film.
She does all kinds of great.
Yeah,
She's in crazy movies like Doom. She was in Doom with The Rock.
Yeah.
And she's a Bond woman.
We all got to start somewhere.
She's a Bond woman. It's a bad movie, but
Well,
she is a Bond woman.
She's very pretty. I mean,
She's in
But
you
they
Die
climb
Another
that
Day.
ladder to the
No,
lead
but
role
she's
however you can.
But she's very pretty, but she's a very fine actress too,
She
though.
is.
Hey, speaking of great actors we like, and I had a huge crush on this woman in the 80s. Still do. She's cool. She's really cool. And it's this time of year, so I have to talk about it. Halloween with Jamie Lee Curtis. 40 years later, Michael Myers escapes.
I saw
and
that,
she's
yeah.
going to get her revenge
Poor
on Michael.
Jamie Lee Curtis. How many
And-
times does she have to kill this fella?
This is, this is the only sequel. They're erasing all the other sequels, all 20,000 other sequels.
Because
and
there's the
this
one
is-
where like she dies in the first scene. There's the one
That's
where
right.
she and her little boy, what's his face, who kind of looks like Jamie Lee Curtis if you think about it. What's that guy? He had permanent bedhead. I
Oh,
haven't
I
seen him in a while.
You got me on that one. man.
Josh Hartnett.
Josh Hartnett.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, H2O.
Yeah,
That was 20 years ago.
yeah.
Yeah, time flies. But I saw the new trailer today, and I'm like, I kind of dig it. It looks fun. It's erasing all the bad sequels, and Jamie Lee Curtis, Michael Myers. You got that theme song, so I'll give it a chance. Knock on the wood. Blaine, you probably remember seeing a Halloween in the Day,
Well, is this going to be
1978.
like Dallas, though? We're going to just wipe out the whole, the whole.
Alice.
No, Dallas.
Dallas.
You
Oh,
know, TV,
Dallas.
Who Killed Jr.
Yeah.
And then they just did a whole season.
Wow,
It
what
was
a segue from
no,
Halloween
but, no,
to
but
Dallas.
it was a dream, though. So
Oh, I remember.
Yeah.
What's his name? Patrick Ewing.
Duffy.
Patrick Duffy.
Yeah,
Patrick
wiped out a
Duffy.
whole season. So that's an interesting approach.
Yeah, Michael Myers is in the shower, and it's all a dream. That's it. She dreamt the whole thing. She dreamt all the murder and everything. I
But
tell
also,
you.
Jamie Lee Curtis, anything she's in, I like.
Oh man, Fish Called Wanda. She should
I
have got an
love Fish
Oscar for
Called
that
Wanda.
one.
Well, they gave it to Kevin Kline, and it's a comedy. It's a dark comedy.
Well, I
so
forgot
that's
who
kind of
won
a weird-
female supporting actor. But yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis was so good in that
Yeah.
movie.
Anything she's in, she's good. But
Yeah.
you don't see her too much lately.
And growing up as a kid, and you see the previews for Perfect with her in the yoga pants. Hey, watch out! Sorry for that, Meg. Yeah. And moving on. Hey, we're gonna close out here talking about Halloween on the Shine Box. Before we go, I'm gonna let you guys plug away. Anything you got going on? Blaine, go ahead. What you got coming up, my man?
Well, don't ask me who my guests are tomorrow. We have the Blaine's Roll show
Blaine's Word.
at 9 o'clock on WPBM
It's
here.
excellent.
And you can also catch it on Facebook Live and plugging away with the blog and keeping busy and waiting to see you on stage again.
Oh,
So
thank you. Too kind. Far too kind.
Some of
Far
the things
too
I'm
kind.
doing. And Meg?
You can read my movie reviews, and I'm profiling cool local women on SophieMagazine.com, and I'm singing in a soul band called the Groove Arcade. We have no gigs yet for the winter season.
Well, we're looking to have a gig.
We're looking to have a gig.
You'll
so
keep
yeah.
us in suspense.
Yeah.
On the Shine Box.
Mhm.
Yeah, nothing going on here, just the Shine Box. I want to thank you all so much for that. Oh, yeah, just a minute or two here. I just want to do some quick, and thank you, by the way, for being such great guests. We didn't have to get into the news or all the bad, depressing stuff. So thank you for being my
No
guest
problem, no
tonight.
problem.
This is
You
fun.
guys are excellent. Just some quick trivia for you. How about some
Okay.
trivia in the last
Gimme,
minute
gimme.
or two. 1923.
Oh.
Disney Cartoon Studios formed on this day. How
Okay.
about that?
Good to know.
1962. This was the premiere of Gilligan's Island.
Mhm.
Wow.
But
You guys
it's like
sound.
remakes. That's another interesting thing that's happening. They're doing TV show remakes.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, and don't ask me why, I'll probably watch it. Connor is going to be on tonight. I
The
think.
Connors, yeah,
the
8 o'clock.
Connors.
Oh, because
I'm-
Roseanne's not
I'm
there.
thinking
That's
Oh,
right.
it's interesting.
I
don't know
remember
what
that.
they're
When that
gonna
happened, I was
do.
like, left, right, I don't care. I
Right.
just never thought Roseanne was funny. So,
And I love John. I love John
I love
Goodman.
John
though.
Goodman.
oh, I love John
And
Goodman.
Laurie
He's
Metcalf
amazing.
as
But
well.
also, talk about strange things too, T-Rex. That's something else that they're now all of a sudden making old TV shows again.
Murphy
You know what I
Brown is
call-
back.
Murphy Brown, have you seen it?
Yeah, it's good.
fun. Yeah, I'm into
Candice
it.
Bergen's funny.
Actually, you know what I call Stranger Things?
What?
Familiar Things. I gave it a chance. I was like,
You're
Murphy
not. You
Brown.
don't like Stranger Things?
yeah. I was like, I've seen every Spielberg movie it's paying homage to. I've seen all this stuff. Why would I like watch a carbon copy of it?
All right. All right.
Well, let's end on a good note. How about this? On this day in history, Mr. Smith Goes to Washington premieres
Oh,
in 1939.
Frank
How about
Capra,
Oh,
that?
you've
Jimmy
seen that,
Stewart.
though.
Oh yeah.
So now, so you did watch a lot of the old movies.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Cool.
I'm not totally.
Great film. Unfortunately, I don't think we have any Mr. Smiths in Washington right now. Maybe Elizabeth McGovern, maybe Bernie Sanders, you know. But I'm going to dedicate the closing song to someone
Elizabeth Warren.
Elizabeth,
You
what did I
just
say?
did
No
Elizabeth McGovern.
Yes.
way.
I was like,
Oh,
from
see, I'm an
Downton
idiot.
Abbey.
Who was? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot. All I know
No,
is
it's
movies.
alright.
But
Elizabeth
speaking of
McGovern.
Washington, D.C., I'm going to dedicate the closing song to Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Please stay
Never
alive.
die.
And please see that documentary.
Oh,
There's a
RBG.
Ruth
It's
Bader
amazing.
Ginsburg documentary.
It's
You
amazing.
saw it?
No.
I saw that one. It's
And
outstanding.
it's going to be on Netflix or HBO soon, RBG,
Okay.
right? The best.
Ooh.
The best.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah, it is outstanding. But this song is for you because I know it's hard to work in D.C. Thank you again, Meg. Thank you again, Blaine. Have a lovely evening. Be safe in the rain.
Huh. That's fun. Do I do?
Top, yeah.